the Centers of Innovation process, what I envision utilizing it here in Baton Rouge to do is to actively court those who want to create theme-based, sustainable ideas for schools. An example of a Center of Innovation that we had in Grand Rapids was focused on healthcare. It was health sciences and technology, and the reason why that partnership was created, or that Center of Innovation was created, was because we know that one of the growth areas in that area is healthcare, because one of the most significant employers in the Grand Rapids area is Spectrum Health. Mm-hmm. So the notion was to create a specialized environment for students that was focused on health sciences and technology, where the curriculum was developed in partnership with staff affiliated with Spectrum Health. So this was a way to make sure that what was designed was industry specific and served as a real life way to better prepare students to become engaged in professions that would support the work of Spectrum Health. One of the neatest aspects of that partnership that came about is that we partnered with one of the local emergency medical services providers, and we created a program where students can graduate from high school and become certificated as an emergency medical technician. Now, this is right out of high school. So it's those kinds of partnerships, those kinds of theme-based programs that I'd like to use the Center of Innovation process to cultivate.
So what you're calling, so just to back up, you said you want to ask the board to let you create, what did you call them exactly?
Centers of Innovation. Now, Centers of Innovation would have a charter-like status, but would operate within the jurisdiction of the school district. And those are the ideas that I would hope to be able to bring to the business, philanthropic, and higher education community, to say these are interest areas that our students have, but these interest areas also coincide with the future economic development areas in the greater Baton Rouge area. So how do we come up with the programming that prepares those students, one, but then two, how do we ensure that we provide funds to sustain those programs, so regardless of the district's finances, those programs would have a sustainability fund attached to them so that they could continue for the students.
But these would be innovation and reform, so troubled schools.
Not necessarily. No. Not necessarily troubled schools. They would be designed to attract students based on the theme. So they would be, I wouldn't necessarily call them magnets, but they would be interest area schools. So let's say with a student population base as large as East Baton Rouge Parish, we shouldn't have difficulty finding 400 to 500 students who would like to be engaged in, for example, learning how to be engaged, to learn how to be an emergency medical technician. Assuming that, and that's a neat area that isn't just pertinent to East Baton Rouge. I mean, you could take those skills anywhere in the country. So that's what I'd endeavor to want to do. And if it helps alleviate some of the issues that are attached to some of our schools that are in need of academic improvement, then again, that's part of that notion of renovating the house as you live in it.
Yeah.
So that's what the Centers of Innovation process would represent. It would be a market-driven education process that has a it would be an RFP proposal that would be involved. And part of that would not be just not how will the school operate and what's the curriculum, but how are you going to sustain it over the long haul.
Okay, great.
So that's one of the first things that I want to ask the board to let me do.
Excellent.